as the elements. So again, if you look here at the app, it says elements describe the type of energy a sign speaks in. So think heat is fire, matter is earth, mind is air, and feeling is water, right? So it takes it very simple. Just if you're learning these basics, it just takes it in a very simplified way. And then it kind of goes into what these elements actually do or mean or signify. So fire we can see is the spark or act, and the fire signs is going to be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And it gives a little bit of a descriptor here. Fire is spark in motion. It starts things, takes risks, and creates. It often shows up as courage, passion, confidence, and momentum. Now, if you're looking at the astrological wheel, what we have here, this is the first house here, and you can tell this is what's being highlighted as far as the fire signs. The first fire sign is Aries. That's the first spark. It initiates fast, acts on instinct, learns by doing. So the question related to that is what wants a brave first step? Again, we have all of these elements under our charts, just varying degrees and where they're at. And of course, your own birth chart is going to look different depending on where you were born and the location you were born. So you might have, just because Aries is always, in a basic astrology wheel, Aries always represents the first house. Taurus always represents the second, third, fourth. And then it's alternating elements, right? So it's always going to be fire, earth. If you go to Taurus, right? Let's go ahead and look at, and close that. If you're looking at the earth, so the earth's always going to be second, sixth, and 10th. So let's go back to fire. Fire is always going to be first, fifth, and ninth. And it always goes in order. So fire, earth, second, sixth, and 10th. Air is third, seventh, and 11th. And then water is always going to be last, right? Your fourth, eighth, and 12th. So that's how the system is sort of set up in a very coherent way when you're learning astrology. Again, just keeping it very basic. So we're learning about fire today. We're going to be learning about all the elements, actually. But again, your chart may have earth on the ascendant. The ascendant is always going to be on what's aligned here with the first house. You might have air in your ascendant. You might have water in your ascendant, right? So this is just, again, a nuanced approach, but this is here to learn the basics. So again, if you have a lot of fire, this is what it signifies: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Earth is going to be build and ground. Earth is real life. It builds, stabilizes, and makes things workable. It often shows up as patience, practicality, skill, and follow through. So again, when you're looking at your earth signs, right? So this is earth. And I did a coloration too, because earth is green. I think of the actually earth on the ground, there's a lot of green. So again, that's going to be your second houses. Taurus is your first earth. That's your steady builder, grows slowly, trusts what's intangible. Your second earth is going to be Virgo. It improves systems, it notices detail, and it serves with care. And then the third earth is going to be your Capricorn, your strategic builder. It commits long term, carries responsibility, and climbs patiently. And let me go back to fire, guys, because I realized we didn't complete the fire sequence. I'm jumping ahead here. So we know the first house is Aries, which again, we talked about, initiates, acts on instinct, and learns by doing. The second fire is going to be Leo. It's your radiant creator. It's ruled by the sun. It expresses your heart, leads with warmth, and makes life vivid. It's about where you really create, want to be, shine on the stage of life. And the ninth house is your third fire, which is your truth seeker, right? It expands horizons, searches for meaning, moves towards freedom, and it usually rules beliefs. Okay, so when we're again studying these, this is sort of just a visual map of the way these elements are formed and the way they're, done in a system, in a cycle, if you will. There's a specific cycle around these elements.